now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at your professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Mike Wagner Show. So make sure you subscribe and tell your friends. Also, download and listen to our episodes on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, watch the Mike Wagner Show on YouTube as well and subscribe to our channel. And also, like and share our Facebook pages on The Mike Wagner Show and take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with a wonderful gentleman, very bright and up-and-coming from San Antonio, Texas. Just moved out to Denver, Colorado recently. Just taken in the Rockies. He's an award-winning safety manager and health director since 2008. He's the CEO of Trident Applied Mitigation, or TAM, T-A-M. He's got unique philosophy, ideas, and how to achieve your potential, and he's worked with a number of clients, and he'll tell you all about it and how to achieve the dreams as well, too. And how he does it, we're going to find out with the very one and only, soon-to-be, next powerful CEO of America, ladies and gentlemen, Travis Adams. Travis, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, Mike. Thank you for that great introduction. Glad to be here.
And since 2008, you've been an award-winning health and safety manager with a number of companies, CEO of Trident Applied Mitigation, or TAM for short. And you've got some very interesting ideas on how to achieve your potential. And you've also been an environmental health and safety manager with a number of companies. And, of course, you had started your business as well, too. And before we get to some of all that, tell us how you got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went the educational path. I graduated from Northeastern State University in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Started pursuing the environmental health and safety engineering side of the oil and gas industry, as well as the construction industry. And I kind of started to integrate into equity builds, full-scale EHS program development for companies that allowed me a great insight into looking into things from a programmatic standpoint and also filling needs and voids that the companies need in order to grow. And that's kind of how I got my start.
Explain EAS for us as well, too.
Yeah, so EHS is Environmental Health and Safety. It's the acronym.
Okay. All right. I was thinking of something else, too, but you've had like a very unique idea as well, too. And, of course, you've also worked with a number of clients, and, of course, you also dealt with Washington, D.C. one point and quite a few other companies. You can just tell us all about that.
Absolutely. So some of the companies that I've worked for have been on the energy side as well as the construction side. Been able to work for companies such as the Energy Group. We did a big equity build for Navigator Energy, ended up selling to New Star Energy in about 2 years. For over $1 billion. That was an excellent venture. Was able to learn quite a bit with that, and I've had a lot of exposure with high-level executives, learning the flow and how to conduct and move businesses in a positive manner. And so just a lot of exposure. I was running 4 states at the age of 23.
Wow.
Developing standard operating procedures for companies at a young age as well. I think I developed my first 400-page standard operating procedures manual. I believe I was 23 years of age. So just fast-tracked my career, and exposure is everything, Mike. I mean, just getting in, trying to learn it, seizing the day each day, and just being hungry about your passion.
That sounds like it too, as well too. And tell us about your new company, the Trident Applied Mitigation. Just tell us all about that.
Yes, I'd love to. So Trident Applied Mitigation is a software company that we've put together to kind of fill the void of EHS data collection. Currently within the oil and gas industry, the construction industry, and even the manufacturing industry, there's not a lot of need currently for electronic transmission when it comes to documentation. What we have done is we have created a mitigation engineering analysis piece, a software piece that's modulated in order to kind of create a simplistic interface and an easy to use, accessible dashboard for users that are currently experiencing the daunting everyday accumulation of a paper trail, experiencing delays throughout their industry. So we were able to bring simplicity in a programmatic way through software that will allow employees to input data, and it's called a job site safety analysis.
Okay.
And there are steps, hazards, and recommendations that tie into this process. So we have simplified that in an electronic way that's going to allow users to log on, be able to see the severity and likelihood of their hazards, and also giving supervision or upper management an opportunity to reduce that severity or likelihood to minimize hazards in a rural location or a plant setting, and just provide overall opportunity for to increase hazard recognition programs and so much more. So we're very excited about it.
It sounds very interesting too that you go to a job site, like say you want to dig something, and you got to watch out for this, watch out for that. You have to get permits and everything else. Go through a step-by-step process on how it's done. Let's say we want to build a well or something simple, like say just clean up a spill or something. Just give us a step-by-step process, like
Sure,
say with a task.
So, let's say you're going to put a pipeline in the ground. First, you need to go through design. You understand what that job is going to look like. You understand the material, the man hours, etc. Once the design is accepted, you would get into pre-construction meetings, discuss the overall scope of what that's going to look like. Your man hours, is there needed material? Do we need to bore under the road? Do we have a high consequence area? Is there a spill pathway? Is there some kind of regulatory issue that's going to impede progress? And you discuss all of those things. The next step is, and as we all know, once construction takes place, it becomes convoluted. There's chaos that goes along with that because you have such a large subcontractor base out on a project. So how do you kind of simplify that process and minimize hazards that will also and additionally give you an insurance premium or a discount? It will allow you to become eligible for different safety program or awards through a programmatic means. And so what we've done is you go out in the field and you're going to put the pipeline in the ground. So what kind of things do you have? Well, you have excavation, you have mechanized equipment, you have hand tools, you have all of these different things that you need to account for. So you would list those steps in order of the project, whatever the hazards are associated with those steps, and then ultimately how to abate that hazard associated with the project.
Okay. And then afterwards, when it comes to the project, then what happens afterwards when you input the data, like with the post construction, and what happens after that?
It's a great question. So typically, a lot of this documentation, construction related documentation, would be inputted into job books for the life of that asset, so that you're able to go back and see some kind of form of mitigation from an EHS standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
and also a production standpoint. I believe that you can provide trends and metrics, gap analysis based on the data that we're collecting.
Mm-hmm.
We have the ability to market and off of the data that we collect, as well as a library system to where if a user inputs something into the system or into the block or into the cell, then that cell will be transmitted to a data collection site that will allow us to populate the different libraries to ultimately speed up production and get away from the paper trail. And I've mentioned paper trail quite a bit. I'd like to elaborate on what I mean by paper trail. Currently, the industry within the EHS processes, in my educated opinion and professional opinion, are very archaic and very outdated.
Uh-huh.
So what you have right now is basically a carbon copy style printout where individuals are having to take time out of their day to grab a pen, grab the book, fill this out, search for other individuals to obtain signatures, and then transfer that document to supervision in order for approval.
Mm-hmm.
With our software, we have cut out all of those steps completely. It will act like an insurance document. It will be grayed out. There will be an asset profile attached to our program. You'll be able to click on the map through the interface dashboard, and you will see a piece of paper hanging above an asset. So a booster station, you mentioned a pump a while ago. So you would click on that document, you would open that document, and you would fill that out. Well, it would attach your name, that profile information to that document, and say, I'm 15 minutes away from you, but all of a sudden, you need backup, you need help, the project is a little bigger, your maintenance responsibilities, you just could use some additional assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you have activated that JSA. I know where you're at your rural location through our map asset profiling option. I meet you at the site. On my way, I pull over for safety reasons, right? Turn on my hazards.
Right.
I can fill out that document. I can read the steps and the mitigation pieces that you have already inputted. Gives me a moment to research and understand more thoroughly before I get to you. Because a lot of times what happens, if that's not the case, you're going to have to prep me. We're going to have to talk about it. I'm going to have my own opinions, my own ideas on how to go about it. So this gives me a window of opportunity plus drive time to understand what the project at hand is going to be and how to mitigate and minimize what I am up against. After we fill this out, there's a mass notification option.
Uh-huh.
Everybody that's involved in the team, just like group text messaging, we took a very modern approach, and you will be able to, once we fill this out, it will send it to the supervisor or whatever the hierarchy chain of command internally looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's constant communication, accountability, and hazard mitigation throughout the entire process.
That is amazing, and I can just take that all in as well, too. And, of course, we'll ask more about that as well, too. Some of the other projects, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Mike Wagner Show on YouTube. You can also download and listen to our episodes on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also watch the interview on YouTube as well, too, and take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with Travis Adams. Since 2008, he's been award-winning health and safety manager, CEO of Trident Applied Mitigation, or TAM for short. He's got a website that's coming up. He's got unique philosophy, ideas, and also things to make things safe around the environmental health and safety field, as well as in MSHA, OSHA, and also anything to the oil and gas industry, and just making some quite revolution. And you explain this process as well, too, like with laying down the pipeline, going through step by step with your new process and everything. And what are some of the other projects that you have done besides laying down pipeline with your new computer system?
So currently, this is a new system that we're waiting to implement, but we've gathered a lot of the ideas, a lot of the problematic issues that needed to be intertwined into this piece of software, and in order to, you said it best yourself, revolutionize, reface a very archaic industry, a very paper trail documented industry. And so some of the things that typically, you would need to use this for, a great example would be expansions. Mm-hmm. If you're building a tank, a breakout tank, which has surge relief, which has a mainline pipeline going into that tank, which consequently makes that DOT regulated, or under PHMSA, which you have a lot more regulatory requirements associated with that federally regulated asset. But you would build your tank, or you would put in your pumps, and ultimately you would lay your pipelines, your LAC units, a full build. And so this software actually touches on a piece of construction that would currently be ongoing out in the field. Not only is this a daily means, this is also periodic and very much ongoing. From having equipment piled up to having a welder that's closer than 30 feet that may be in a combustible zone that could ignite some kind of hazardous liquid, mm-hmm. some type of heavy grade gas, something that's a little thicker than air. You just never know. There's so many hazards associated with what we do. And ultimately, we just want to see the worker, our fellow worker, be able to return home to his family or her family on a daily basis. And that's ultimately why we set out to do this. And also to provide simplicity to a complex industry that is kind of known not to change in a fast-paced manner whatsoever. So hopefully we're able to brighten someone's day up by providing them with a simplistic way to go about something that's been around a very long time. So it integrates within a process, within an existing process, within new construction, an existing pipeline, an existing asset. So it's definitely full circle, Mike.
It sounds like a great idea as well, too. And will you get some kind of notifications or warnings if you're about to encounter something that's hazardous? Like, say, you start the dig and all of a sudden a notification or warning will light up and say, hazard, please stop, please advise, and anything like that. Will the system have a thing where it just, say, warning lights and notification will, like in a pop-up window, and say, warning, this is hazardous? Do you have something like that, or are you working to get that in the system?
Yes, what a great question. So we are working towards that goal. The way we will go about that is we will build an algorithm into the program, and each hazard category will have a severity and a likelihood rating attached. It will be embedded. And so if you and I are doing something that's highly hazardous, say we're working with a corrosive chemical or it's a carcinogen, and we have to look at a safety data sheet to see our medical precautions and our handling and our storage and how to really go about this in a safe manner.
Right.
What this algorithm will allow the user to do is, we talked and touched on mass notification. It will send a notification to that supervisor, allowing them to make contact with the authorized and affected employee, and it will give them an opportunity to either shut that down, which stop work is integrated into the OSH Act of 1970, creating a hazard-free workplace. So it also does a lot from a regulatory standpoint as well. But yes, we're working very diligently towards trying to get that algorithm put into the program, and users should see that very quickly upon launch.
That is amazing too, and you guys are focused on safety, which is a great thing, and of course contributing to being safety conscious with a lower number of deaths experiencing in oil wells and plants, mines, and everything else too. Now you talked about the MSDS data sheets, and are they going to be implemented into the system as well too, or do you have a program that'll make it simple in place of MSDS?
Currently there are a lot of data collection companies that do a great job on the chemical side, whether it's Tier 2 chemical reporting or SDS safety data sheets, which was commonly referred to back in 2012 as a material safety data sheet before we adopted the global harmonization UN standard that integrated a lot of the authoring and pictograms and universal labeling that kind of takes place on the chemical HAZCOM side of OSHA's regulatory structure. We do have options to embed documents, so supplementals are welcome. Anything that's going to increase that data chain, that data communication, anything that's going to take the liability off of our client or the user. That's definitely something that we're open to, and that's definitely something that we have the capabilities to do.
That sounds amazing too. Now, when you put out this product, is it going to be like a one-size-fits-all where it's like, all the companies have to adapt, or can you adjust your program to specific company needs, and how much can you adjust if you're able to do that?
That is one of the biggest things that we took into consideration, not only because, you have a lot of smaller startup-style private equity-backed companies that need to utilize a large contractor or subcontractor base, depending on the rate of production and construction and when they want to turn this plant or their assets on to start making money. So that's something that we're going to just work towards and just try to continue on with that.
That sounds amazing as well, too. And what are some of the other things that your program will do besides with the data collection and everything else? Will there be other options that you can throw in there, like with maybe some safety training advisory, or say like with handbooks, learning classes or anything like that? Is there anything else that you're going to implement with this system and present to companies?
Absolutely. So our business model is a lot like Microsoft. We're going to have an enterprise version, and then we're going to have side products, just like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, that would attach to our enterprise version. So not only are we going to have the motherboard, if you will, where it would be the main data capture, we would be able to download that program on the supervisor upper management's desktop. And at that point, we would provide an application to field-based users so that they could use that in a very mobile manner. It's also live transmission. It's live time. So as soon as they pass by a telecom tower, that transmission will hit our system, and we will be able to collect that data in a very live time manner. We plan on spinning off and not only doing the mitigation piece in terms of a job site analysis or job safety analysis, we also plan to do many other things within oil and gas, construction, manufacturing. So everyone listening, just please stay tuned to that. We have a lot of big things coming up.
And of course, when this rolls out as well, too, where can people get a hold of this product?
Yes, so they can log on to our website. It's tam-us.com. We have uploaded our lifetime terms and conditions. They can learn about the product. We have a lot of pictures that encompass what the dashboard will look like and kind of the flow of the software. So they can definitely take advantage of tam-us.com. Look at our website. Check it out. Our phone numbers are listed. We have an About Us section. And just everything that you need to know would be on that website, as well as reach out. Give us a call. We would love to teach you about it and enable you to learn more. and open your horizons with EHS data collection and mitigation software.
That sounds great, too. And we'll let you give out the website and phone numbers in just a minute here. We just have a few more here. Listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking a budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Mike Wagner Show. You can also download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And again, also watch the interview on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe and take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with Travis Adams, the award-winning health and safety manager since 2008, CEO of Trident Applied Mitigation, or TAM, and he's talked about what his new systems will do and make things very easy for the oil and gas industry and what's coming up in the future, and eliminating the paperwork. And, of course, speaking of the paperwork as well, too, you've also dealt with another companies before your invention has come out, too. And, you've worked in Texas, Oklahoma, and quite a few places. And what are some of the cases that you have been involved in, and some success stories, and what people can learn from?
Yes, absolutely. So, I think the biggest thing that I've been involved in is just, high-level builds and being able to see things from a very strategic and organizational standpoint. I think the one thing people can take away from this is always pay attention to your surroundings within your industry. There's always a need to be better. There's always a need to make things more accessible, and to put the fellow employee at ease. One of the biggest things that I've been able to do is, reduce that paper trail. That paper trail is honestly everything. It's programmatic driven. There's so many programs, whether it's DOT, whether it's EPA, OSHA, all of these different requirements, and so many different variables. And I think communication and always staying accountable and really caring and finding that passion, not only going to work day to day, but going to work and trying to create something that everyone will benefit from, and ultimately trying to change your environment in a very positive and proactive manner. That's the biggest thing that I've been able to gain from a lot of the individuals that have taken the time to mentor me and to allow me to understand the bigger picture. And it's not just getting up every day and going to work, but it really is getting up every day and striving to make a difference and looking for that need, fulfilling that need, and ultimately going forward collected and organized in a very strategic manner. That sounds amazing, and very, very influential as well, too. What was the one moment that got you into the health and safety aspect of your career? Yeah, so it's something that actually really hits home for me. I grew up in a very small town, Sallisaw, Oklahoma. I graduated with a very small amount of people, very sleepy country town, couple of stoplights, and that was really about it. My dad worked for the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, and I got the opportunity as a young kid to accompany my dad out on a project, and I got to see these gentlemen do some blast, some demo activities. So I actually got to press the button to watch, and as a kid, very cool stuff. I got to watch things go boom and bang and fly up in the air. And that's something that I'll always remember. And looking up to your father, and he provided, and in such an interesting field at the time, so much movement and so much stimulation, that I could not help but to pick up on things that could be better, even at a young age. And so I wanted to make an impact. I knew that I didn't want to go the medical route. I didn't want to go the educational route, but I definitely wanted to make an impact in what I did day to day. And I really saw a need and an access point within the industry and within the profession that I'm currently involved in.
Mm-hmm. And what were some of the projects your dad was involved in Oklahoma DLT? What were some of the major projects he had his hands on that you witnessed?
I don't know if you remember, but it's been a long time ago. I can't remember the exact date, but there was a barge that hit the Webbers Falls Bridge that connects from Webbers Falls coming from Henrietta, Oklahoma. A lot of people, unfortunately, lost their lives in this incident, in this accident. And my dad was able to create a budget, create a schedule, and he built the bridge back. He was the chief bridge inspector. He was recognized for his efforts, for all the hours, and being safety aware. So he made it on a couple of posters, and I believe he was interviewed, and I still have the PowerPoint to this day, but he was involved in some high level stuff, and honestly, anything bridge related, civil, highway construction, road closures, there's so many things going on. So for him to have the career that he did, very honorable, and he definitely knows what he's doing.
That's amazing. Almost sounds like the oil and gas industry having a number of hazards as well, too. And also another thing, too, that you talked about with the safety, like with MSHA, OSHA, mining, occupation, and everything else. When you're involved with MSHA and OSHA and the health and safety when you started, how do you think MSHA and OSHA has improved, from that point you started up until now? Or do you think it's kind of stayed neutral? Has it kind of regressed? Or what improvements has been made, and what are some improvements that they could improve on?
I think it's overall consideration to the individual's health and safety overall. I know you can remember, when that question comes up, I think immediately what comes to my mind is the Hoover Dam, the Empire State Building, things of that nature, large construction projects with very minimal safety nets whatsoever. It was in a time where, we needed to build, we needed to grow, we needed to flourish. I think now there's way more recognition on the employee. One of the biggest things that's changed is, the introduction of the hard hat. I do believe that it was introduced around the time of the Hoover Dam construction. Still at that time, though, Mike, there were people that were sitting on the back of trucks waiting on someone to get hurt or die so that they could go to work, so they could provide for their family. And I think with the introduction of OSHA around 1970 and how far all of the agencies have just been able to get and to overcome so many obstacles from a bureaucratic standpoint, I think that we're living in a different age. I think we're living in a place where people are becoming more aware of their surroundings and their environment. And ultimately, with that introduction to that regulatory way of life, it's better. It's making people's way of life better, and they have a peace of mind when they go to work, and they get to go home to their families every day. So I really think that everything that's been introduced and implemented, and it's just going to get better. And because of that, what's happened? Well, it allows individuals like me to appreciate that, to find passion in that, and ultimately to add to that and to create a better health and safety environment for everyone.
That sounds amazing, and how so many changes have gotten me for the better, too. And you said you've been influenced by a number of people that help you become better and everything else. And tell us about some of the people that made you better and how.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a gentleman, he was, I believe, the former president of Seminole Energy. I was working for an energy company at the time. I had transitioned from construction. I was doing EM 385 DOD construction contracts for a construction company out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I remember him coming into my office. Here I was, this young kid in charge of 4 states, a lot of assets. And he said, look, he said, if you want to be great, he said, you need to try to do it all. But you need to have a pace, You need to keep a level head. And we also talked about, practicing the emotion and how to harness that. And basically, he helps me pick my regulatory path. He outlined what I needed to start with, what the most complicated reg was, and I believe he told me what the most complicated reg was because he understood my drive and my hunger and my personality. And of course, I picked the more complex regulation, which has done nothing but help me in my career. Had the opportunity to watch a gentleman. He was in Vietnam, a decorated war veteran, and he really taught me about practicing emotion and being black and white and helping people and being proactive. And there's a time to be abrasive, and then there's a time to not and to be soft, and all of these things just full circle around who I am as an individual today. And all of these individuals have taught me that that person out working is the person that matters, and anything that we can do to make their environment better, that's absolutely what I want to accomplish.
That is amazing too. Just a couple of minutes here with Travis Adams, the CEO of Trident Applied Mitigation. And what do you consider your favorite project and the most challenging in your career in environmental health and safety?
There's multiple, but I really think it was the full-scale build for Navigator Energy that I got to be a part of. It was such an incredible experience. I didn't come in perfect by any way whatsoever, but was able to, understand it's all about trial and error. It is about making mistakes and getting better and creating a better work environment and mental stability. And all those things come from trial and error and learning. And so I would have to say the most pinnacle part of my career was probably just given the great opportunity to work for that equity build and to understand, just every avenue and what it takes to build something like that. Because I think it's just like anything in life. I think that we take things for granted and we see a structure or we see a person and we just view it and we go on. And so I was provided with an opportunity to get to see, every detail of that. And it meant something to me. And there is a lot of work that goes into that. And so it was just a very cool opportunity for me. And it allowed me to start thinking outside the box. And I went down the road to starting this company. And I couldn't be more proud.
That is amazing, too. And once again, give us the website and how can people contact you in just a minute. And just, lastly as well, too, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice I think I can give is just be yourself. Find your passion. Listen to people. Don't be so quick to speak. Take into account that everything matters. That someone could be having a bad day and be talking 9,000 miles a minute. But there's going to be something in there that you can always take away. If you find that passion, that behavioral-based passion, you're trying to help individuals, never go so fast as to miss one of those moments. Take in everything that life has to offer. Wake up every day and try to better yourself. And surround yourself with like-minded people that are going to allow you to grow, allow you to flourish, and ultimately bring positivity into your life.
That is amazing. I think you summed up very well, Travis. And just wanted to say, thank you for your time. It's a great pleasure talking to you about health and safety and what you got planned as well, too, for Trident Applied Mitigation. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, and how can people contact you?
Yes, so the software that's coming out is a job site or a job safety analysis. It's going to be a module. It's going to simplify the process, eliminate paper trails, be able to asset profile, send mass notifications, get severity and likelihood updates, to be able to reduce the severity and likelihood, and honestly to cut down on delays. People can learn more at our website, tam-us.com. They can send an inquiry through our website. Our phone numbers are posted on the home page. They can go to the About Us section in the team section to learn more about us as individuals and what we're about. And we couldn't be more excited. So, guys, call us. We would love to help you out.
That sounds great, Travis. And I just want to thank you for your time as well, too. And for many of us that go to work as well, and be safe. And just wanted to say it's been great having you on. Look forward to having you on again soon. And, of course, keep us up to date. And let's do everybody a favor. And we need to remind everybody, be safe, stay alive, and we want you back next time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mike, for having me.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program and or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.